plus 1d6 necrotic damage per extra fist.
Okay.
So you're looking at 4d8 just off the bat plus 21. And then it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 d6 in fire damage, and 60. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8d6 necrotic damage.
Mm-hmm.
All
Set
that,
could
I'm gonna be honest,
absolutely.
that just
Yep.
sounds like you built the definition of a glass cannon. If you can get that off, amazing. Before you die.
Well, don't forget, Set, if I set up the star points, can literally teleport around while preparing this.
Yeah, he can, but that's not on reaction. If it was on reaction, you can survive and do all
God
this.
damn it.
If it was on reaction, that would be the fucking monster and a menace to society, quite literally.
Actually, since I've gone back to upgrade, leveling up the monk stuff, I think, at level 10 monk, reaction teleport.
Yeah, but we're like level, what, 11 right now? And
I'm level 7 monk, yeah.
We finished the game at like level 13, don't we?
God damn it.
I don't remember, it's like 13 or 14.
I'm pretty sure it was like 13.
Well, that's still, like, get me right there at that level.
So, Game Master,
Yes.
I just realized something about my character.
What's that?
Which kind of sucks, because I had not realized this was a feature for the Scribes Wizard until now. My level 10 subclass feature allows me to craft spell scrolls at half the time and gold it normally must spend.
Okay, what level are you guys?
We're level 9.
Okay, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Here's the thing. I worked with you because I didn't know this was a thing. We talked about how she would make scrolls, and I thought it would, since I didn't know this would apply to scroll making as well. I was under the impression that, hey, maybe it would be fair and balanced to say that she makes scrolls in a quickened time, like she puts down spell slots.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about it. It's a simple oversight, in my opinion. And we'll keep running with it. That just means when you finally level up, you unfortunately don't get any extra dope shit.
That's fair.
Because you got it early.
That is fair. I am happy to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go and change a ruling based off of a simple mistake. We'll run with it for now, but next time we do Scribe Wizard, we know.
Yeah.
Why does ChatGPT have such good ideas?
No. Also, I was joking about the name. B700G is a perfect name for that.
I've come to a realization.
Okay.
He shall be named, or it shall be named VX113.
Okay.
Field code name, Hemorrhage.
Eldridge?
Code name.
Hemorrhage.
Lord have mercy.
I swear, wherever this character is, whoever I'm playing, I'm going to call you Numbers.
This would be the Monday campaign. Would Harvey call him Numbers?
If Harvey ever dies.
I might change the designation number.
If Harvey dies, I'm bringing in a full druid. That's just it.
Anyway,
I was actually thinking the same for Set. Anyway.
We're here on Sunday.
We are here on Sunday.
No?
Yes. You're going to play. First, welcome back. It has been like 2 months. I apologize for that. I've had a lot going on. Thankfully, we're able to start setting back into the groove. We're still missing 2 players, but that's all right. We can make do with what we got. We last left off with something happening to Tharmand. He saw something. For once, this wasn't a reflection or something just in his peripheral. And he alerted Kaiser to this, who went and got Hope before Tharmand did something that Kaiser considered stupid. And then he did something Kaiser considered stupid. The two watched as Tharmand threw a haymaker at nothing and just blacked out. After several hours, Tharmand came to and was ravenously hungry, to the point that even Hope started to look pretty tasty. So he ran off to hunt and eat. And once he'd somewhat gotten control of himself back, he has returned to the group and is eating significantly more than is normal for this dwarf. But it is now decent ways into the morning. Tharmand is in control, has been given a couple of rations, I believe, on top of what he's already eaten, and the group is getting ready to move along.
Yeah.
I will point out, I believe Hope tried to remove Curse Spell. Is this correct?
Yes.
And it had failed. So whatever this is, it's not exactly a curse that can just be removed.
I will say this. My favorite thing about Hope is her casting Remove Curse on Kaiser and him looking like, well, I'm an asshole. I will never forget that moment.
That had also happened.
Yeah.
I love that interaction.
Kaiser had been cursed 2 days prior and was struggling to do fine motor movements with their hands, making it impossible to cast certain spells. And Hope, deciding to prove that Kaiser is indeed just an ass, removed the curse for him.
Actually, her words were a little bit different.
She
Her
was very
words were different. The intent was the same.
Her words were very, in layman's terms, rude. To Kaiser, very poetic. But Kaiser did learn he was very much an asshole.
All right, so I assume you all are breaking camp and getting ready to move on with the day.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you are on day 12, I think it was, I said?
I think so.
Mikey, can you, or not Mikey, but Hope, can you check? Because I believe you are also keeping track of this.
Well, I was keeping track of the amount of days spent versus the days left on the on the contract, and we've total
Fair
spent on 63 days.
Oh, wow. So you guys have already wasted a little over 2 months.
So
Be happy he didn't give you a 6 months deadline. Anyway. You all hoof it up into the mountains. And since you're going by foot without a cart, I wonder why. You have discovered that some of the paths have become more narrow after some recent storms, which led to some kind of odd zombie attack. And this occurred before Turbin's current condition. You all walk for about 2 hours. It's getting upwards towards lunch. Tharmand, you're so hungry your stomach hurts. Give me a wisdom save. No. Okay, let me move maps for you guys. What map will be suitable for this? Yeah, this one will do. for the time being for this. Close that. Let's see here. Put you here. Chomsky isn't there. Put you there. Put you there. You all go ahead and fix your thingies. The others will just, I'll move back here. They're not there. And arrange yourselves how you would be walking.
She would probably be sitting behind Kaiser and such. She's not so sure about Tharmand, and so she's going to keep her distance from him.
I guess Tharmand would be leading the pack.
Okay, well,
chilling, walking. He just has his eye on Tharmand.
Well, that makes this easier for me. Tharmand, as this pain starts to set in, you're looking around. Give me a perception check.
Do you want me to use the hunting, like, extra proficiency that Tharmand gets, or just plain old
You're
natural
feeling
survival
kind of
check?
desperate.
Or
You're feeling kind of desperate. Make it a natural survival check. Because you have to enter a hunting state for that.
Okay.
If I remember the ability correctly.
Yes, but even still, I have proficiency in survival.
Oh, well, that works out wonderfully. And you get lucky as you see a deer off the path of about 60 feet out. I don't have a proper token for one, so give me just a second. I'm just going to use the merchant.
I would say use the horse.
Oh, yeah, the horse would also work. I'm going to move y'all down a little bit more so that I can actually get the proper distance.
Whose horse is that?
60 would be right about there. Okay.
It is Queen Titania's steed.
All right. You see a deer where I put the horse icon. It looks tantalizing. Not quite as good as Kaiser is looking right about now. Especially if you had a couple of spices.
I wouldn't
The
eat the
forbidden
filthy.
meat.
I wouldn't eat the filthy knife-eared bastard.
Normally, sure. But it's also a forbidden meat.
No.
Is Tharmand looking at Kaiser?
Are you Tharmand?
Tharmand is looking off into the distance and back at Kaiser. Off into the distance, back at Kaiser.
Kaiser, give me an insight. I will allow you to try and roll against this Tharmand, but I'll say you have disadvantage.
Natural 16.
And I'm doing
Deception or persuasion. Don't bother telling them which. I'll make
lovely.
I'll make an educated guess. But yeah, you can do either or, whichever you might have us higher. 2. Kaiser, something's wrong. There's a maddening look in Tharmand's eye. Something primal is there. And his eyes are taking on a familiar golden hue.
Is there something wrong, Tharmand?
Hey there, buddy. What's up?
The deer appears to be grazing.
It's not picking up if you're saying something.
Oh, damn it. Hang on. Stay here. Do not interfere.
That's gonna have to be negative.
Darwin draws the javelin.
Okay.
Where the hell is that deer? All right.
Top left of the map. Are you going to try to sneak up on it?
With a javelin? No.
Well, you're out of range for a javelin unless you want to roll at disadvantage, aren't you?
Reckless.
No. No, I'm not. Not for Tharmand. All of my throwing distances are doubled.
Oh, that's right. It's just within range. All right, roll. I should probably pull up the stat block for a deer.
I am the one who knocks. Sheba.
Okay, you hit. Roll damage.
At the end, it is just a javelin.
Isn't a javelin a D6?
I have it written as a D8.
It's D6, like it's.
Wait, no, it's not.
No,
I
it's
know
not.
why it's a D8.
Why is it a D8?
At third
One of his,
level,
yeah, it's one of his class.
die increases to 1d8 at 6th level. Be hit with an unarmed strike, no matter what. With an unarmed strike, you deal 1d8 at 6th level. When you make an unarmed strike against a creature on your turn, you can use the bonus action to either make an unarmed strike against the same creature. Fear power puts a massive strain on most weapons, shattering them. When you hit with a melee weapon, blah blah blah. In addition, the range of thrown weapons is doubled. If you hit with a ranged attack with a thrown weapon, you can use the damage die above in place of the weapon's usual damage die.
Nice.
Yep.
That's where it is.
What's it like being blessed by the gods?
Darman, you hurl this thing, and it whistles through the air as it already starts to crumble. And it basically peppers this thing like a shotgun and takes it down. You have killed a deer.
Armin struggles over to it.
There is a dead deer with metal shrapnel in it.
Kaiser would be walking behind him.
The smell is practically driving you crazy.
Consume.
You all watch as in a hunger frenzy, Tharmand hurls this javelin and runs after it. And as the deer drops, Tharmand drops next to it and begins just ripping and tearing at the flesh with his hands and teeth.
Hope turns away as soon as he starts ripping at the flesh. It's like, nope,
Kaiser
I'm not
stares.
going to watch this.
Tharmand, you tear into most of this deer before you are somewhat satisfied enough to regain your bearings. And you're hunched over a deer that you have just torn asunder with your bare hands and teeth. The metallic taste of blood and the chewiness of raw meat still in your mouth.
Hey, buddy.
That was unpleasant.
Since when? Like Kaiser is Kaiser's
Kaiser,
an asshole. So
that
like
yellow glow is gone from his eyes for now.
perfect. Kaiser's gonna be like at a distance, like side, like about here, and he's gonna like hands on his knees, staring down at Tharman, just chomping on this deer, and goes like, "Hey, buddy, since when have you been a carnivore?"
It's the day I was born, but not in this. Not like this.
Clearly,
Are you done with this grisly show of force?
Starman turns around, coated in blood. I believe so.
That is unpleasant. Well,
You're disgusting. Clean yourself.
The deer carcass is in worse condition,
Yeah.
as it is just torn apart.
yeah.
Kaiser
Hope
also
just kind of walks up and starts prestidigitating your.
both of us together are doing this.
Yeah.
Darwin, you are slowly cleaned by a magic.
You're
Many
disgusting.
thanks. I apologize.
I don't think it's something you could have avoided.
I mean,
Thank you
I
for
mean-
the cleaning. Blood is terrible to get out of my hair.
Well, something you guys did cause this, but I'm not entirely sure what.
Kaiser shrugs. I don't even know what's wrong with him.
Oh
Avoid
yeah, that
mirrors.
reminds me. Kaiser, it is about time for you to make a perception roll, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, go ahead and give me one. It's been several days since I've had you specifically make one. So go ahead and give me a perception check.
23.
Oh, nice.
Oh, goody, finally. Kaiser, do you remember the description I gave for yours?
Mine was a deer.
Yes, yours was a tall and lanky deer that looks as if it was on the verge of dying from starvation. It is roughly, I believe I said it was roughly 9 foot tall, maybe a little taller. And it had sharp, its hands ended in like sharpened talons. You see this standing directly on the other side of Tharband, staring at you. It is no longer in your peripheral. You straight up see this thing just staring at you.
While locking eyes with this thing, Kaiser's just gonna be like, so, Tharman, old buddy, old pal.
Oh, what's your passive?
Oh. Let me see here.
Yeah, what's your passive perception?
Plus, her passive perception is 16.
Then I'd say you'd notice that Kaiser's eyes are looking up above Tharman's head.
Kaiser, are we seeing things?
Kaiser is
the thing stares back with the golden eyes.
similar to Tharman, right?
Yes, they are very much similar to Tharman's.
Perfect. Kaiser's just gonna be looking and be like, so Tharman, what was your little pet looking like?
Pet?
Kaiser's still looking at this thing, and Hope,
Yeah.
whatever Tharman saw before, that I'm not apologizing, but I blatantly lied. Yeah, I'm looking at mine.
Ah,
It hunches down, so its head is just above Tharman's as it stares at you.
that's pleasant.
Where is it?
Don't move, Tharman, as Kaiser raises his hand and energy starts whirling from his shoulder all the way down to
what
his
are you
elbow.
doing?
And just, you see it like charging up at the palm of his hand as he fires 200 blasts over Tharman's head.
It tilts its head at what you're doing. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. Let's see if either of them hit. They both hit. Okay. In that case, I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
I think I'm proficient? Yeah, I am, but not enough.
Get ready to go down.
We'll see.
Natural 20.
Oh, thank God. Okay. You fire these Eldritch blasts, and as you do, they stop short and just kind of disperse around this thing's skull. And it lets out a low, guttural sound. It's not quite a growl, and it doesn't make sense to make that sound with the head of a deer. And it vanishes.
Did you get it?
Everyone else, his attacks seem to just sail through the forest.
Yeah. So, why'd you just barely hit Tharmand in the head with your magic?
Barely missed Tharmand.
Kaiser looks at Hope and goes, "Looking to get my hair cut." I'm sorry. I apologize. No, I really do apologize. Look, I'm a dick, and naturally, snarky is my language of choice. So, to answer your question, I know it's really hard. I'm normally such a great and benevolent being, and anyway,
your use of sarcasm is spot on.
Listen, Hope. Whatever that thing was that Tharmand saw, I saw. But the only difference is I beat my guy.
Well, we shall see. Let's hope you don't see it again.
No, I'm fine.
I will remind you, Tharmand didn't answer what his looked like.
Kaiser has an assumption that everything looks like his.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you made an assumption.
Yeah.
I was pointing that out for Tharmand, because Tharmand didn't get to answer, but he was asked.
Yep. No, I know. I stayed quiet because things were unfolding. However, I would take note that Kaiser aimed above me, and mine was roughly my height, if I remember correctly.
Yours walked on all fours and was
or at least
about a
it was
head
low
taller
slung.
than you. Yeah, it was about a head taller than you on all fours. You've seen it stand on its hind legs once, and it stood at roughly 9 foot tall as well.
So if he was aiming at mine, it would have been way too high.
Well, no, because he aimed right above your head.
Yes, but
So
if
it
it's
was
a
about
bear,
the right height.
if it's a bear, its head would have been middle or center of the target, more or less. And unless it was standing up, in which case it would be 9 feet up in the air, way above me. So I'd know it's not the same shape as mine.
Not necessarily, because again, your bear standing on all fours was a head taller than you. So it would have been a good shot at just above your head if it was the same beast. If it was standing directly behind. Okay.
Was it the bear?
Kaiser looks like actually befuddled and looks at Tharmand. The fuck, a bear?
Do I even want to know what's going on?
No, you really don't.
Okay. I'm going to trust you
spread
two.
by telling others.
Yours is a bear?
I am going to trust you on this, and I will not inquire further. And she walks away.
Kaiser flicks his hand, and his tome appears, and he starts writing in it, and just like, what was yours looking like?
While they're having this conversation, you're walking away, Hope. Start moving your token, please.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was a deer.
Bear, about 6 foot at the shoulder.
Mine was 8 feet standing.
That's good.
Yeah, she's gonna wait about there at the road. Gotta close the door. I'll be back.
Why is yours different? What the fuck is this? Why were your eyes yellow? Why was its eyes yellow? Was your bear's eyes yellow?
Yes. Skeletal head. Emaciated body.
Yes.
Partially skeletal head. It was mostly furred, but for you, Tharmand, the right side of the head where the ear was torn away to reveal part of the skull.
I'm back.
And there are patches of actual fur missing that on both of them that reveal either patches of bone underneath or rotted skin.
Okay, see, I was picturing annihilation.
The deer head is entirely a skull. Just for reminders on your descriptions.
Okay. Yeah, I was picturing more like the bear monster from Annihilation.
So, does something happen to Hope while she's away from everybody else?
I don't know. What are you doing, Hope?
Hope is actually
Did you do any
waiting.
reflective services?
No. Hope is basically waiting, trying to make sure she's out of earshot and waiting for everybody else to join her so they can continue the journey.
Kaiser's literally writing and pretty much stick figure drawing because I don't think he's proficient in painter's tools.
You know what? You can make a dexterity check to see how well your drawing comes out.
I don't need it to be good. I just gotta write I just need it to be stick figures. Kaiser will take a little nappy poo and get good at painter's tools next day.
Fair enough.
So he's just pretty much stick figure drawing this and then writing the name of deer and bear above a stick figure with a tattoo on his face, obviously Kaiser, and a very short 5x5 stick figure looking like Darwin.
All right.
And then Kaiser
hit Tharman's stick figure with the scale tool. Squish.
Yes. Let me double check something first.
Okay.
Have you guys ever the Darkhold?
The Darkhold?
From Marvel?
No.
Yeah.
It's a book of the damned, essentially, and it's really grim looking and has like an aura of like red and black, and that's just what Kaiser's book looks like. An aura of red and black, just darkness.
You're a spooky motherfucker, aren't you?
Kaiser's drawing stick figures in this shit.
For now.
I'm not that scary. It's fine. And as he does this, he grabs it and looks at Hope and kind of just mage hand throws it.
Mage hand. What?
Like tosses it
towards
like
tosses the book.
Yeah. He doesn't need it to go for it. Like it's just like.
Why are you throwing a book at me?
Read it.
Fine. She goes over to it, picks it up, and reads what he put in it. Yeah, the stick figures.
Hope, you see very poorly crudely drawn stick figure-esque versions of Kaiser and Tharmand, and bear is written under Tharmand, and deer is written under Kaiser.
Okay.
It makes no sense. Unless you have notes to accompany.
There isn't. That's just the drawing, specifically. Kaiser snaps and the book disappeared.
I don't get it.
We'll explain later. Now you just get it in layman's terms. And he's going to look at Tharmand and whisper this and go, even though no one can hear it specifically, he's whispering. If she finds out half-heartedly and figures it out on her own, do you think it's going to happen to her?
Don't know. I just don't want her to be affected as well.
She can't be affected if she just finds out on her own. We don't have to tell her. She's figuring it out. I drew it. I badly. That's why she's figuring it out. She's smart enough. Don't tell her I said that.
All right. You're right. It could be a somatic thing. Or a verbal thing.
She can figure it out. It's enough. I'll do a better drawing tomorrow.
I said the wrong word there. I meant to say verbal and said somatic.
You said both.
I know. I had to fix myself, but I stayed in character.
I respect it.
Hope, what information do you currently have on the situation with these two? Overall.
To her knowledge, what she knows is Tharmand and Kaiser are somehow cursed by something. Tharmand is currently in the late stages of this multi-stage curse, apparently, where he is currently experiencing periods of ravenousness and apparently becoming a mindless carnivore where he needs to consume something living, most likely. And from what she knows, she also knows that apparently during the early stages, the curse takes the form as some kind of a hallucinatory creature that that seems to follow the person around to her, and she is currently she's apparently Tharmand had a bear and Kaiser had a deer. From that information, does my character know anything about what's going on?
You know what? With the amount of information you have, I will let you make an investigation, a nature, or a history check. You may pick.
Whale.
Tell me which one you're doing, because the DC will be different depending on what you pick.
She's gonna do nature. Nice. 24.
This seems oddly... How do I put this? This is so unusual and out there. You never heard of these specific symptoms before.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to anything in nature.
Okay. So this is not unnatural.
Correct. As far as you can tell, this has nothing to... This could not normally occur naturally within the world.
Or
even
more
for
properly,
a world of magic, this is very unusual.
Or more properly, this is not the result of some kind of creature that lives in the world or beyond.
Not one you're aware of, correct?
Yeah. Okay.
Can I roll a Arcana, whatever investigation I need to know if what Tharmand was under was a charm or something like that?
If you're trying to figure out what why Tharmand was acting the way he was up until he finished eating the deer, you can make an Arcana or a history check. Tell me which, because the DC is different depending on what you pick.
Out of curiosity,
shit, Herman fucking sucks.
Can Hope try and roll an Arcana check to see if she can think of any type of curses that fit these effects? It may not be a natural thing that happened, but if it's a curse, it's some kind of magical effect.
I will let you roll for it. Kaiser, I don't know which one you rolled, but it doesn't matter. You have no idea.
Yeah, 27.
With a 27, you have heard faint whispers of something similar. Of this being something akin to lycanthropy, but what exactly it is escaping you. It is, you came across this vaguely one time when you were studying magic. And it was when you were first learning magic in the early stages. So you didn't pay much attention to it. And you are now kind of regretting that, as it's just like right there at the edge of your mind, but it's escaping you.
Okay. Which means...
But it is similar to lycanthropy, as far as you can tell.
All this means is she is going to have to go in the next town, go and try and look up uh things on look for repositories on curses, like not libraries and such on curses.
You are certainly welcome to try. Anything else between the group? Anything else you want to try, Kaiser?
Kinda.
All right, what you got?
He gestures for Hope to come closer.
She will join. Move closer. Yes.
I don't know if this will work, but I can show you what I see. I don't know what Tharman sees, though.
Are you sure that would be a good idea?
Nope.
To my knowledge, this might be some kind of curse, and I vaguely remember having passed by something that was like it, but I don't remember any specifics on it. I'm gonna have to. It wasn't part of. It wasn't a piece of information I was actually looking for at the time, so I didn't actually read too much into it. Um, we're going to have to do some research at the next town.
How far is that, you know?
Well, that's in the Sourstone Mountains. That's the Dwarven city.
Kaiser's gonna look at Tharman. Do you think your people know?
Simon wearily shakes his head. No.
Well, I am sure your people have sages and scholars. Surely there might be some kind of repository of information that might have some information on curses like this.
I suppose it's possible.
It is something to check out while we're in town.
Simon looks like he's kind of losing hope.
You're not losing hope. You're losing me. I'm already here.
Damn it. I forgot your name was Hope.
I need to step away for a second to take the dogs out. I'll be right back.
That's fine. We'll RP in the meantime.
Yeah.
Azak, when I see that book, I'd like to sketch what I saw.
Kaiser just throws his hand down. The book appears in front of Tharman.
And I will quickly sketch in the book a bear with half of its face missing.
Mm-hmm.
And ribs and backbone showing in several places.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's
Are you
any
proficient
more
in
I'm gonna
painter
be able
skills?
to make it.
Are you proficient in painter stools?
No.
Shit, this is also gonna be bad.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be any more information I can gather right now.
Better to know what we see than information needed. You can maybe find something that looks like it in a book wherever you go.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, if Kaiser shows her anyways, she'll definitely take notes and look at it. Actually, she'll probably take out like a notebook and start scribbling down what she can, as detailed of a sketching as she can possibly do.
Kaiser's gonna be like, "I'll draw you a better picture tomorrow."
If that is something you want to do.
Better to have an accurate description when you go research. I have no idea where I'm going. I don't even know what it is. You knowing even a fraction of an amount is more than I can say.
Yeah. Well, I can only remember the most basic of information. It's kind of a weird form of lycanthropy. Not quite lycanthropy, but it's close.
1% is still 100% more than 0.
That is true.
Also, Tharman, stop moping around. We'll fix this.
Okay.
We can figure it out.
There's
Would
no need.
appear I'm in need of your help.
He looks direct. Kaiser looked directly at Hope. Because it's not him he's talking to.
In what way would you require assistance?
I overstepped my bounds. I need you both to take care of it.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Alright, what did
Swear
I
to
miss?
me.
Oh, fuck, I forgot.
We talked about things. Hope
Fair
Hope has not been given any direct information yet. Kaiser chose not to cast a spell to give Hope a actual detailed visual description, but he says he'll be making a better portrait the next day. Kaiser is Tharmand is requesting that if he goes too far, that we take care of it.
Asking for death already. Seems a little extreme.
Don't worry,
All right.
Tharmand. Something we'll figure this out.
How's that in character art, Tensa?
Let me check it. I was away. Too much is showing there. It's more fur than that. Like, only like a portion of the rib cage is actually bone, and a lot of it's fur, and sections of it is torn away and missing. But that is a pretty good idea.
Okay.
Alright. Alright. So are you guys done here?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Let me move you back to the world map. Alright. That is day 13, technically. And you make it into, like, the heart of the mountains now. You're decently on the trail. You're 4 to 6 days out, depending on how bad things get in the mountains. And it is getting late in the evening. I assume you're gonna cast your bubble as you tend to do and hunker down for the evening.
Yes.
I need to check things. Lehman's tiny hut is an opaque dome, right?
Yes.
So it is very obvious when it's there.
Well, it can look like the surrounding. It can be camouflaged to look like surrounding environment, and especially if we're in a mountainous region, it could look like a regular, a big rock.
Fair enough. So you all hunker down for the evening. What is your watch order?
Hope will take.
Kaiser's on every watch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Kaiser doesn't need to sleep.
Yep.
Okay, so Kaiser, which watch are you taking alone?
Whichever one they decide.
Hope,
Kaiser's just on every one.
Hope will take third watch.
Okay, and then Tharmand will take first, and I don't think Tharmand is going to be sleeping in the bubble. He does not trust himself.
That is fair.
Okay. First watch goes without a hitch. But go ahead and give me a perception check for second watch.
22.
All right. Luckily, you don't see anything dangerous. You see Tharman attempting to sleep outside the bubble. He's kind of restless, the occasional guttural growl escaping him. And as your eyes scan the area for your watch, you see it. And it sees you. It is just outside the bubble, staring directly at you. If it wasn't for the bubble itself, its skull would be mere inches from your face.
Who's on watch with this one with Kaiser?
This is the
Kaiser's by
second watch.
himself.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
all
this
he's
is the
on his
second-
own.
Kaiser smirks and flips it off.
It moves through the bubble to stare you down. It is now inches from your face.
Kaiser stares it down.
Slowly, time reaches on. The minutes tick agonizingly slow as the yellow eyes stare back at you, and Hope's turn for watch arrives.
So she awakes and goes, "How is everything going, Kaiser?"
Shit.
"How do you mean shit?"
I'm staring at it.
"That is unfortunate. How..." "I don't know what I can do to help you right now."
Nothing, just keep watching.
Okay.
I'll keep my eyes on it.
Guys, it lets out a breath, and as it does, mist comes from its mouth and nostril area as if it's terribly cold, despite it being rather comfortable inside the hut. And it's gone. As the mist clears, you no longer see it.
Kaiser lets out a very, long sigh. Fuck. Hope I will say this. If I could sleep, I'd be terrified. I feel sorry for Thurmond.
Well, it seems like whatever he's experiencing, he's experiencing the last stages of it.
Maybe it's because, I can't sleep that it's not affecting me as fast.
Maybe.
Fuck this bullshit.
Well, we're going to have to... Yeah?
No, continue.
We're going to have to find a way to deal with it in Vagdor.
We'll deal with it. We'll figure out a way. How far are we out, do you think? A day?
4 or 5 days.
Fucking piece of shit. And now, since enough hours have passed, Kaiser is now proficient in painter's tools, and then he'll open his book and just start fucking going at it.
Hope, while he is doing that, and it is your turn for watch, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Cool.
Just for standard watch things.
Mm-hmm.
Or at
Sure.
least you hope so.
Sure. Standard watch things. Sure.
I love how freaked out I have you guys.
13.
Everything seems normal. Dartmouth is tossing and turning just outside the bubble. Kaiser is painting away inside of his little notebook.
It's my tome. It's my spell tome.
Mm-hmm.
Forgive me, this might be overstepping my bounds as a player, but I would like to have it stated, Junior has left Tharmand. He is staying inside the bubble with you.
Oh.
How are you overstepping?
Okay.
So, look, the pets are your creatures. If you decide that they are going to take up an endeavor to try and do something, I'm happy to oblige. I'm not going to tell you what you can and cannot have your creatures do within reason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Given the current circumstances, this is absolutely reasonable.
Hope will
There you
probably be absent-mindedly stroking Junior's forehead while she is keeping watch.
Don't forget Laika,
Oh,
the baby
Lakane.
dragon. Yeah, Lakane.
Yeah. She's been trying to teach Lakane stuff.
Lakane is slowly coming out of her depressive slump.
Mm-hmm.
It's slow. The night passes without any further incidents. Somehow. And the next day, storm clouds have formed overhead. Looks like you're in for a heavy down.
Hey,
He puts his hood up and keeps going.
Hope.
Yes?
Here, I drew it better.
She's going to take a look at the drawing.
You now see a detailed drawing of an emaciated 9 foot, or well, you can't really tell the actual height, but a large emaciated creature standing on 2 legs with what seem to be more humanoid arms with clawed tips, and the skull of a deer, and it has like patches of fur and some exposed bones. The other one is a large emaciated bear in very much a similar fashion, except the end of its arms are very much large bear-like paws.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
That's what that is.
They have brilliant yellow eyes.
And Kaiser looks at Hope and goes, "Hey, whenever you're done with that, just toss it."
Okay. She tosses it.
Kaiser just proceeds to walk like nothing happened.
Okay, well. She is
have
going...
a much more detailed viewing of it.
Yes, she does. Is there a check she can roll to get a better idea of what this is with the new information?
Sure. I'll give you the same options, but not in nature. You can do an Arcana. You can do an history. Those are your 2 options because you don't have anything to work with for investigation, like old books or something.
Arcana.
So it'd be those 2. Okay.
Would it be
not
an
better
because I gave her a fucking perfect detailed drawing?
Would it be an advantage?
No.
Okay. Well, 22 is not better than 27, so...
No, but the subject is different, so the DC is different.
Okay.
From what you gather with the drawing and the symptoms currently shown with the information you have, you are very much certain that this is something of a magical nature. And this strengthens your thoughts on it being something somewhat related, at least, to lycanthropy. But exactly what you are still unsure.
Okay. Well,
but this definitely strengthens that.
She knows this is a curse. This is a curse that's powerful enough to be able to resist remove curse.
You have never heard of before.
Yeah, it's something new. Of course, she she has a feeling that it would be possible, especially since dispel magic can't just dispel any type of magic it comes across. So she has her
Reservations.
reservations.
All right.
Yeah.
I wish I was a level 9 fucking warlock right now.
Why?
The level 9 feature.
I don't remember what it is. And it's
Commune
changed to
with
5.1.
patron. That is a 5.5. Commune with patron.
That's
could just
right.
ask.
You could straight up ask.
I could just ask, what the fuck is this?
All right. So not long after this, the sky opens up, and it is a downpour. This is one of the worst storms any of you've seen in your lives.
Mhm.
You can't hardly see a few feet in front of you as you try to walk through this. And the
Mhm.
path is very quickly just downtrodden, muddy, and you are all slipping and sliding.
Mhm.
Did you say it's difficult terrain?
It is difficult terrain.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you
Sure.
ignore non-magical. Do what?
Oscar, if I move at least 15 feet in a straight line during a turn, until the end of that turn, I ignore all non-magical difficult terrain.
She would be, considering we're just walking in a straight line. We're not fucking deviating.
Okay.
Armand is trudging ahead, creating footholds for everyone.
Mhm.
Except they're washed away as quickly as they form, and you only get that for all of like 10 feet before you hit difficult terrain again.
Kaiser just casts fly. It just starts floating.
Kaiser, it hurts. You are being pelted with rain.
It's rain. Nothing I can do about it. Still flying.
Hope is still just going to trudge along. She has cast major armor as she normally does at the beginning of the day, and false life from her
Ooh, false life.
species ability.
I know what that does.
I'm glad I got everyone on the hype train for temp HP. Anyway.
Where the hell did my pencil go?
Do what?
God damn it. No, nothing. I didn't mean to talk out loud.
Alright. So, this rain lasts the entirety of the day. So you all make it about half the distance you normally would. A little bit
Nice.
more for some of you if you
Good
weren't having
roll.
to slow down for Hope.
Mhm.
Doggone it, Hope.
What?
All your fault.
Kaiser's gonna look at Hope, like down at Hope when he's flying, and goes,
What?
hey, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm apologizing a lot recently. I didn't even think about you. And he's gonna continue floating. I'll remember next time. I'll give you flight for a bit.
Yes. I'm choosing not to fly.
Strange.
It quickly darkens earlier than you're used to thanks to the dark clouds and the storm continuing to rage on.
Mm-hmm.
So you must set up camp early.
Mm-hmm. Sets up the dome. Prestidigitation a whole bunch of herself to make her dry again.
Easy enough.
Armin shakes himself off like a dog.
Darman shakes himself off and then poofs up. His hair and beard have poofed.
Kaiser just is a sopping mess in the dome and just presses digitation himself and goes, looks at the Tharman and goes, really?
Not a word.
All right.
You wouldn't last 2 minutes in Winter Deep.
I would
This is
last
true.
a
This
lot
is
longer
just
than
another day for you, Tharman, except instead of snow, it's water.
Kaiser ritually cast Unseen Servant.
Okay, your unseen servant appears. There are two new footmarks in the mud.
But we're in a dome, so it'll be in the dome.
Yeah.
Yes, but the ground is still mud right now. It's got to dry. Or does it magically dry the ground too?
I think
Because
the
I
dome,
know it changes the climate.
I think the
it
dome
doesn't
has a
necessarily-
floor, doesn't it?
The spell doesn't say. You know what? I'll give the dome a floor. I don't see
Yeah.
why not.
The atmosphere inside it is a 10-foot emanation. The atmosphere is comfortable and dry regardless of the weather outside. Until the spell ends, you can command the interior to have dim light or darkness. The emanation is opaque from the outside of any color you choose, but it is transparent from the inside. So, I mean, it could still be slightly muddy, but, I mean...
It being a 10-foot, like full-on circle, 10 foot, I'll say the flooring can be whatever the hell you want it to be. It could be tile for all I care.
Kaiser's gonna look at Tharman and Hope and go, "Do you guys need anything done?"
In what ways?
He gestures to an empty space. "I got a guy."
Okay, well, we'll probably be wanting to make some food. Of course, Thormund, I don't know if there's anything that we have that can satiate you right now.
Tharman, you're almost entirely out of rations. You've gone through a lot more than you normally do.
I'll be back. And Carmen steps out of the bubble to go hunting in the rain.
Be safe.
You need help?
No.
Are you saying that just to be almighty and powerful, or do you actually not?
I don't want to hurt anyone.
Kaiser's gonna walk up to Tharman and go, "Tharman,
You ass.
of all the people here, I can take a hit.
Fine.
But you can't be alone."
Fine. Come along.
Let's go.
So you two are going together?
Yup.
Tharman, do you use your hunting instinct ability?
Yes.
Okay, then you will be able to roll straight because of the heavy downpour that is continuing.
Okay.
God
Okay,
damn.
you managed to find your way to a den of rabbits. There are, hang on, let me roll a dice. We'll see how many rabbits you found. You found 3 full-grown rabbits in it. Kaiser, as he stalks off towards this burrow, give me a perception check with disadvantage to see if you can keep track of where he's going so you can follow.
Pretty sure it's gonna be that. Fuck, it got lower.
You are very quickly absolutely lost in the woods in the middle of the downpour on the side of a mountain.
Piece of fucking shit dwarf.
All out. All out.
It's a storm. I don't think anyone's gonna hear.
Tharman, you pull these 3 rabbits out, holding them by the ears and triumphant, and then you turn around and you have lost Kaiser.
I snip him out.
I'll let you try, but again, all you're gonna do is get a straight roll. And tell me what the number is. I had to step away from my laptop. Or my computer.
22.
22.
Shiva.
It takes you a couple of minutes, but you do eventually find him. Somehow.
Oh. Don't test the mighty tracker.
Kaiser, while you're lost and cursing the dwarf bumps into you.
Kaiser turns around. This downpour. Really? You had to rush?
I walked off with my eyes closed. You're wandering around in the woods like a babe.
Fuck you. Move.
Now come on back to camp and help me prep these conies.
Kaiser immediately touches Tharmand in the back and casts flight on both of them so they can just get rid of all this bullshit. Just fucking go.
Well, here's the thing. The rain is what's hampering your vision. So, you still gotta make that check to see if you get back to camp.
It's not the rain that I'm specifically worried about. It's the hindrance of the terrain, which is hindering Kaiser, not Tharmand.
Fair enough.
Armin punches himself to get rid of the flight.
He can't. It's Kaiser's concentrating on.
Yeah, Kaiser is concentrating on it. But I believe it just gives you a flight speed. You don't have to use it.
Okay. Armin will remain on the ground, firmly planted.
Kaiser will fly forward, and as he's like pretty much keeping up with Tharmand, looking at him and goes, "Really? All that just for you to fuck whatever."
Come on. Twinkle toes.
Alright, give me that check. And if you're using your hunting ability, you can roll it straight.
Jeez.
This motherfucker always finds his way. This man always knows where he's.
Kaiser, you stick relatively close to the dwarf as he just marches through. Like he knows this place like the back of his hand, despite never being here before. And he walks right up to camp with no problems.
Oh, welcome back. Glad you've found something at least.
Aye. Now the problem is I need to make a fire.
As long as we have wood, I can do that.
Do we have wood? Does anybody have kindling?
We can get wood at the very least.
Okay.
You can,
I can go
but it'll
take
be
down a
soaked.
tree. Prestidigitation. Magic.
Magic
Fingers.
pop. It's on fire.
And prestidigitation, try it.
Well, it can start a fire. Yeah. You instantly light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire.
Yes, but at wood, it would still struggle to take and hold.
She could just keep prestidigitating until it's dry enough that it'll hold.
Okay, that would be possible, but I'm going to say it takes about an hour to manage this.
Sure.
With Kaiser and Hope doing it?
This was under the assumption it was the both of you. Because of how long it takes, Tharmand, I need you to give me another wisdom saving throw because your hunger is growing. Oh dear God. Okay, where's my D100 and my D10? Carmen, you find it impossible to resist the tantalizing rabbits.
Begin to eat one.
You all hear as Tharman begins to eat the rabbit that he didn't kill.
That's
Oh, I broke their necks.
unpleasant.
You didn't state that.
I would have broken their necks while I was under control.
Okay, well,
There's
then
no
you
way
just
we're
hear-
walking back with fucking live
Not
rabbit.
walking back with squealing rabbits in the rain.
Yeah.
Hey, you never said.
That's asking for trouble.
It really is.
Darwin
Anyway,
is a survivalist. There's no way he wouldn't do that.
yeah, so as you two are drying out the wood, you hear as Tharman just starts snacking on one of the dead rabbits.
It's just, I think I'm beginning to regret joining up with your group.
I can't even blame you.
And it's not your fault. That's the worst part. I can't be mad at you.
Not exactly royal material, am I anymore?
Um.
Hmm?
I'm trying. Oh, perfect.
You do finally get the kindling dry enough to use, and it starts to catch.
The Kaiser's gonna look at Tharman. Next time this happens, do I have your permission to cast a spell on you so you don't do this again?
Aye.
All right, I'll remember that.
I said aye.
He's assuming that's a yes.
Yes.
Kaiser
From
doesn't
Tharman,
speak.
you wouldn't.
Kaiser doesn't
You've
speak
been with
Tharman.
Tharman. Yeah, you've been with Tharman long enough. You would know that means yes.
Kaiser doesn't care. He's assuming yes. But he's fine. He's good. Fire's going. Cooking rabbit.
So you guys have a nice meal, something fresh that Tharman caught. Tharman's not so fresh, but that's okay. He eats enough to satiate himself for the night. What are your watch orders?
Okay. I'm probably the same. She'll want to be up for the be up early rather than stay up late.
All right. First watch shift, roll at disadvantage for perception check.
Disadvantage for perception.
14. God damn, Tharman. You and your god.
19. Except for the wisdom save.
That's true.
Due to the storm, nothing seems to be bothering you guys. Nothing seems to be out prowling for once. Not even near the camp. During the second watch, Tharman, when you hunker down and you go to bed, you toss and turn. As you do, your eyes snap open and everything around you is an inky black void. The only light that you can see is two piercing yellow eyes staring at you.
What do you want? Turn into Arnold there.
I heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want the glowing eyes do not answer as it gives as it stares at you. The area is slowly feeling emptier.
it's becoming a vacuum?
Somehow it's as if it's expanding. Even though there's nothing there, that nothingness seems to grow and intensify.
Release me, foul creature.
Kaiser's looking at Darman.
Tharmand is tossing and turning in his sleeve as he had the night before. Tharmand. The creature steps forward and takes the form of this bear as it stands slowly on its hind legs and begins to shamble in a slow circle around you.
You want...
Repeat that.
What do you want? There is only pain and death awaiting you if you continue.
It stops behind you. It leans down, and through a guttural and monstrous growl,
And the stare-off begins.
Did you hear the last sentence I said?
Yes.
Okay. It will stare at you. It is unpleasant to look this thing in the eyes now, whereas before it was slightly unnerving. Now you realize there is an intelligence there, one that you didn't think was there prior. It isn't seeming to be outright hostile towards you. It has made its demands clear. Kaiser, go ahead and give me a perception check for your watch. Disadvantage again.
It said food and then something
Food.
power.
Food for power.
16.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary other than a tossing and turning Tharmand. Starman in his mindscape is having this stare off, and the thing is no longer speaking. Hope, your shift comes around.
Okay. She is up. She is watching. She is doing regular things and such.
Tharmand is, of course, tossing and turning.
Mhm.
Give me perception checks at disadvantage, both of you.
14 again.
Dirty
Shiva.
20.
Hope, you see the occasional creature that looks like it got washed out of its home and is just trying to find a place to hunker down for the night. But it's mostly smaller creatures such as squirrels or the such.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the rain does start to let up towards the end of your shift.
At the end of the long rest, she will cast her spells again. So.
Before
Yes.
like the start of Hope's shift, can Kaiser cast a spell on Tharmand?
Sure.
Before Hope wakes up, this is very important. Kaiser immediately goes near Tharmand and casts Calm Emotions.
Alright, let me look at the specifics of that spell. Give me just a second. You choose range, succeed on a charisma saving throw. Tharman, give a charisma saving throw at disadvantage.
Oh boy, I'm great at that.
Doesn't save.
Okay. Tharman, as you're staring this thing down, you suddenly go from the anxious and fear-addled worry you've had, or whatever emotions you may have been feeling, to an eerie calm as you stare this thing down. Now that your state of mind has changed, do you want to try something else, or do you want to try and talk to it more?
Are you?
It replies, I am you. We are one. As it says this, it moves closer and drops down to try and be at your eye level, reaching out a singular large paw towards you and holds it in a motion for you to touch your hand to its paw.
I agree to this. It is a partnership, not service.
We are one.
And I would rather rip my own heart out if you go after my friends and family. We understand each other.
It regards you for a couple of moments before it gives its answer. Food and deal. It means as long as you keep it fed, it will agree to the terms not to hurt your friends or try to go.
Armand will press his palm into the pads of the bear's paw.
And with that, you're out like a light. Kaiser, the tossing and turning stops. Tharman calming down.
Kaiser will let him know in the morning.
All right, so the next morning comes, and Tharman, as you wake, you feel that really, really intense hunger again. But now, it's more on the controlled side. It's ravenous. Like, you have to eat. You have to eat now. But suddenly, your friends no longer look like meals to you. You do not recall the events of last night.
I'll be back. It's still raining.
No, the rain has mostly let up. It is now more of a drizzle, like an early morning light rain.
Hope will you be all right for yourself, by yourself?
As long as, for a bit, yes. I can remain in the hut, and if need be, I can re-up it if the hour's growing old and you're still not back.
All right. Come on, Twinkle Toad. We're going hunting.
Fucking dick. Let's go.
Kaiser, what's your passive perception?
16.
I'd say that's more than high enough. Darwin seems to be in a much better mood. He's at least not trying to, snap at you guys. However, his usual muddy brown eyes, the irises, are an iridescent yellow.
Metallic, even. Wow.
Go ahead and give me that survival check.
And I'm going for something big this time. Can that be stated?
Yes, it can.
Is it flat or advantage?
It is no longer storming, it is a light drizzle. I'll give you advantage with your ability. With the dirty 20, you were able to find a boar. It is rooting around near some of the trees looking for truffles.
All right. I'm going to hurl a shot put at it.
A shot put? Okay, roll to hit.
Son of a bitch.
Reckless.
Yep, reckless.
$22 to hit. You hit. Roll damage.
The shot put is 1d10.
Bro, that
You
thing got
hit it?
squished.
You hit it. You bloody it. Pretty good. Like you hit this thing, you definitely broke a couple of ribs, but it is still up. It is going to turn to you guys, and it's going to charge you, Tharman. Give me just a second to roll its attack.
Second attack?
Tharman has 2 attacks.
Oh, that's right. Tharman does have to. Yeah, roll your second attack as it starts to turn towards you.
Shit, back.
You reckless, so I believe that translates over. So see if you
Yep.
crit. You
Oh
don't
my
crit because you don't
God.
have a butcher's bib. But go ahead and roll your damage. As this thing turns to look at you guys, you dome it in the side of the head, and it just drops right where it's at.
Nice shot.
Thank you.
Both of your shot puts are broken into several pieces.
Yeah, that's to be expected.
Tharman, everything you have just breaks when you throw it. Do you want something that's not breakable?
I need a magical throwing weapon.
Kaiser bamps his fucking greatsword. Here you go.
Armin takes the great sword, tests the weight, looks back at Kaiser. I lost your name there for a minute. Looks back at Kaiser and hurls the great sword at a nearby tree.
How far? Which tree? How far are you throwing it? Or attempting to throw it?
Oh dear, we'll say about 30 feet.
You have disadvantage. Even
What?
with the doubled range, you would have disadvantage at 30 feet because a greatsword's not a typical throwing weapon. So its normal range for throwing, I believe, is 10 foot. So with your doubled ability, that's 20 foot. So at 30, you have disadvantage.
Of the dirty 20.
The blade sinks into the tree about a quarter of the way in.
But what about you? Don't you need a weapon?
Kaiser flicks his wrist and the greatsword appears in his hand again.
Andy, I need me one of those.
We'll find you something.
Tharman. And not right now. You go to collect the boar, I assume.
Yes.
As you go to
And
pick
we'll-
it up, what's your passive?
My passive is 14.
Okay. Kaiser, do you go with him to pick up the
Yeah.
boar?
Of course.
Okay, your passive is 16. We'll see this. The truffles it had dug up, and it hadn't quite finished digging them up when Tharman hit it, but you see a faint gold in the dirt.
He's gonna
Faint
point it
golden
out.
color.
He's gonna be like, "Hey, Thorman, check that out."
Hmm?
He's gonna point out the gold flecks.
Tharman, you see golden flecks in the dirt where the boar had been digging for truffles.
Armand will attempt to collect not only the gold, but also the truffles themselves.
So it was digging for truffles. So as you
Yeah.
dig up the pieces of gold, it turns out those are indeed the truffles. You find... Oh, wow. You found 5 golden truffles.
Alchemical ingredients. Alright. Marked down. 5 gold truffles. Cook them in a stew to overheal. This is Breath of the Wild, right?
You wish. You guys
Gotcha.
head back to camp. Hope, it
That's-
does take them... It does take them, like, an hour to do this, because they have
She'll-
to find it and drag it back.
Mhm. She'll basically re-up Leomund's tiny hut just to make sure that she stays within the hut.
Through the hut, as I assume you're keeping watch, you do see them approaching as Tharman is carrying a boar over his shoulder.
As they approach, she'll drop the hut.
Easily enough, you guys find Hope standing there waiting.
Well, it's good to see your hunting was successful.
Yes. And Tharman would have slit the throat and let it drain the blood on the way back here.
Out of
Okay,
curiosity, with Hope's passive perception of 16, does she note the golden eyes or the yellow eyes Tharman has?
So they're iridescent yellow. This means they actually glow a little bit. But yes, you do notice them with a passive of 16.
Yeah. She's like, did something happen, Tharman?
No, not that I know of.
Your eyes are a different color.
Really?
Yes. Did she remember seeing his eyes that similar color when he was out of control?
Yes, with a passive of 16, because I gave it to Kaiser with that passive, you would have known that every time he was on the verge of losing control, when he was absolutely starving, his eyes would change to this color. And he would struggle to maintain focus and would even look at you guys as if you were a meal.
It's the same...
Right now, it's just the same color.
Yeah. It's the same color as when you were struggling under the curse's effects.
I mean, I am hungry, but I don't know.
The hunger is slowly intensifying.
Well, let's cook this up. And you can have a good meal.
Kaiser's being extremely like eyeing Tharman the entire time while this is happening. since noticing the gold flecks of his eyes.
Oh no, it's not golden flecks. The entire iris that was once brown is now an iridescent yellow. His eyes straight up changed colors.
Yes, then yeah, 100%. He is eyeing.
And
What?
by the way, because you said you would have slit its throat to let the blood drain while you walked, it would help somewhat. All that blood would go down the back of your armor, clothing, or whatever, and it would not effectively drain all of it during that walk, because the most effective way to drain a creature of its blood doing that is to hang it upside down for about 2 hours for a creature that size.
Yes, he was only trying to save Hope some
A little
of the
time.
gore.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was just pointing that out there.
Yeah.
Thormund.
Hey.
Are you Thormund?
It is out.
I want you to... You like fancy words, don't you?
Are you talking to Hope?
No, Thormund.
Okay.
I believe he's leaving Hope to work on the boar while he's talking to Thormund.
Thormund.
Yes.
You like fancy words, you like poems, you like proverbs, don't you?
Sure.
Thormund, I rarely say this. I like you. I don't like you a lot of the time, but I like you a little bit. And with that being said, I want to impart something that I learned. There once was a man, clever and good, who tarried in the shadow in the depths of the wood. There also was a monster, a bear by name, who reigned over terror and the entire plain. The two were together, the two were the same, the man, the monster, and the creature they became. Are you Thormund?
Aye.
Are you sure?
Thormund, as you respond affirmatively, you feel the urge to say, "We are."
God damn it, you're gonna make me do it.
That is entirely up to you. I'm just pointing out the urge is there.
Hey, Game Master, I have a question.
Yes.
Considering the Fabricate spell,
Okay.
if I have if I have the Fabricate spell, can I make, if I have all the materials, like a bunch of bowls of like pork soup or something like that, or like meals of pork with dinner plating and utensils of bone by casting Fabricate and have the pork be fully cooked?
Fucking just opting out of all the work.
It's just like 10 minutes of casting time. I'm wanting to see if that is something I can do with Fabricate.
I actually love this.
Now, granted,
And
you actually, that probably won't work because I could not make I'd have to have the cooking proficiency. I'd have to have proficiency with cooking tools.
Yeah, this says unless you have proficiency with
So
the type
never
of artisan
mind.
tools. So theoretically, it would work that way.
She just
I'll
has
give you
to.
that.
She just
You're
has to
just not
have.
skilled with it.
Yeah. So never mind. She's not going to do that. But that's kind of like a interesting, fun way to use fabricate that I just found.
Fuck yeah.
Yes, that is definitely a clever way to use it.
Anyway,
Then going back to Kaiser and Thurmond. What was the question again?
Are you Tharmand?
Of course I am.
The fuck?
Kaiser, as he says this, there's a layered echo over his voice. That one is purely flavor on Tharman's part. I had nothing to do with that. But I'm keeping that canon. That is great.
I'm just glad it worked.
Kaiser's face is just gonna, like, you've seen Kaiser show emotions, arrogance, dick, asshole. And this is one of the few times where all emotion from his face is just gone. He's just deadpan staring at Tharman.
What?
Kaiser does not respond. He just locks eyes with you.
You look like you've seen a ghost, laddie.
Hey, Kaiser. Give me a perception check as you stare him down, looking him in the eye.
3.
Okay. Continue.
How far is Hope?
she's within the well, not too far away.
Yeah, it's only been several minutes for you guys to have this conversation, so Hope hasn't made much progress with the meat. And Tharman, that hunger is getting stronger and it's starting to hurt.
She's doing her best.
Thurman's going to wander over to the boar and cut a haunch off.
Kaiser's going to immediately place his hand on Tharman and cast a spell.
Is this calm emotion again?
No, it is not. I asked
Okay.
Tharman previously, and he is willing for me to cast the spell on him.
Okay.
That's the only prerequisite I need.
Okay, what spell?
Gaseous form.
You're casting
What?
gaseous form on him?
Yes.
Okay,
What
for the
the hell?
next hour, you are now a gaseous form.
I don't even know how to respond to this. The spell ends on the target if its HP drops to 0, or if it takes a magic action to end the spell itself. So you can forcibly end this, Tharman.
No, he can't.
Nope, I'm reading the spell. The spell ends on the target if it drops to 0 HP, or if it makes a magic action to end the spell on itself.
It is, you need to do magic to do a magic action.
No. Magic action also can pertain to activating a magic item.
Really?
Yep,
Then-
Yep.
which means
then-
Tharman can end this on himself at will.
Oh,
Yeah.
then I wouldn't have used this spell at all. Though.
Okay.
Banishment, done.
Banish Tharman?
Yes.
You just banished Tharman.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Did I at least get to take the haunch with me?
Yeah,
Need a
you took
charisma
the
saving
haunch
throw.
with you.
Unless you willingly fail. Jesus Christ, what a roll that fucking succeeded.
Yeah, so nothing happens. As your spell fizzles out.
You're being awful touchy this morning.
I wonder why.
You know, the fact that he has taken a liking to raw meat recently, and that he is not right now digging into his own kill, I think is somewhat of an improvement. Although I'm not sure. Given what's been happening, I wouldn't know if something happened or not.
Kaiser
All I
moves
know
all the way
is I
to
don't
like
want to eat you anymore.
Kaiser moves to the end of the bubble and just keeps his eyes on Tharman, sitting down.
Then you sit and watch as Tharman munches away on a raw boar leg. Tharman, this lessens the hunger.
Yes, but I'm not happy about eating raw meat.
No,
unless
and
you're...
its texture is terrible too. Like, it is god awful to you get fur stuck in your teeth. It's all chewy, and the muscle and tendons are sinewy, so they just keep pulling instead of actually being properly cut. It's all kind of ugh.
You know, I'm not actually a professional, like, butcher or chef, so this is going to take longer. Somebody could help me.
Kaiser ritually casts Unseen Servant.
That helps.
After he's done, something picks up a knife and starts helping you.
Yeah, that helps.
You got him for an hour.
Good. And she basically is going to...
The only command given to the servant is to follow Hope's orders.
Yeah. Hope
I was
will...
going to say, don't you have to command?
Yes, the only command given was follow Hope's orders.
And Hope will order it to do things and help, get help. I mean, I don't know how long Hope will be able to, will take, and or how fast this, how much this quickens Hope's process, but...
Give me a nature check, and because you have help, give it to me with advantage.
Kaiser will also ritually cast another Unseen Servant.
Mm-hmm. Just keep ritually cast till you've got the max in.
Pretty much.
Okay.
21.
21.
Alright, I'd say it takes you about an hour to completely cut the thing down. Strip. Well, you gotta skin it, then you gotta gut it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can start cutting the flesh off for what can actually be cooked. With your roll and with the help, I'd say it takes you about an hour, which is relatively fast work for a boar.
Mm-hmm.
But it is finally ready to cook.
And she tries her best to cook it. But again, a chef she is not, so she is doing her best.
Alright, give me a straight D20 roll to see how it turns out then.
Mm-hmm.
One of the orders that Kaiser gave to one of his unseen servants is to write in Kaiser's book of the incident that just occurred.
You're not even gonna write it down yourself? God damn,
No.
okay.
No, because he's keeping his eyes on Tharman the whole time.
Alright, parts of it are burnt, parts of it are undercooked. It did not turn out well at all for your first attempt, so you wasted a chunk of meat.
She can't help that. To cook, she is not.
Tharman, you see that she botched a chunk of meat. Do you eat it anyways?
Yes.
You eat it, but something about this is very displeasing, and it's not just that it was poorly cooked. You are unhappy, and you are unsure as to why. Do you try to cook another hunk of meat?
Oh yeah, she'll try and cook as much as she can. It would be a waste if they did not.
All right, give me another d20 roll. Okay, this time you actually cook it decently enough. It's
And
edible.
by the way,
it's cooked.
Hope is going to try and cook as much as of the boar as possible.
Then yeah, I'd say with that 17, you can cook the rest of the meat pretty thoroughly. So now actual food has been cooked.
Yes.
Consume.
Kaiser takes a piece.
I did my best, but a chef I am not, so hold any complaints.
After finishing writing in the book, Kaiser tells the unseen servant to give Hope the book.
Okay. She will actually kind of look at it and read it.
Tharman, the meat is tasteless.
Is it filling?
It is filling, but it's tasteless and dissatisfying. The raw meat tasted much better.
Mhm.
Hope, for the book, it is noted that the story Kaiser told is noted there, as well as the odd overlapping voice response from Tharman.
Mm-hmm.
And explaining that his yellow eyes are the same yellow eyes that he stared on his creature.
Yep.
Similar.
Mm-hmm.
Kaiser also put at the very bottom of that writing, be careful around him. I will always have eyes on him.
Yeah. Tharmand, I have a question.
Aye.
Have you accepted this?
For now, I don't see another way. Do you?
I will note, in case you missed it earlier, Tharman, you do not remember the dream.
No,
yeah.
no. He's accepted that this is his situation, whatever it is.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's the type of information Cope is actually looking for, because I'm going to say that she has a feeling that if he has accepted his situation, there's a possibility that he's accidentally made himself more entangled with the curse's effects in some way or form.
Fair enough.
For the foreseeable future,
Yeah.
I don't see any other way.
Tharmand, this, you are foolish to accept things the way they are. But I understand your position.
Is the fire still lit from your cooking?
Yeah.
Tharman, you are now feeling uneasy around the fire.
Armin will back up.
Are you back?
Fire is dangerous.
Don't want to set my beard on fire.
It never bothered you before.
Fire is bad. Fire is dangerous.
Is this what I'm hearing in my head?
This is what you're feeling instinctually. Something in you is screaming at you, fire is dangerous, fire is bad. You have no idea where this is coming from.
Would this override the dwarven love of fire and forging?
That is why you are more hesitant as opposed to outright terrified. Believe it or not, I have taken into account your dwarven heritage. The fire is making you very uneasy for some reason.
Something isn't right.
Care to explain?
The warm embrace of the flames that I've known since a child is gone. I feel dangerous now.
Hope is going to now begin to writing that if she begins seeing these things, maybe fire will drive them away.
Kaiser cast elementalism near Tharmand, and it's just a beckon fire, which makes the smell of smoke near him.
Armin flinches.
It is a thin cloud of harmless embers and colored scented smoke in a 5-foot cube. Okay. And it lasts for 1 minute. Darman, this makes you very uncomfortable.
Darman flinches.
How does that make you feel, Darman?
Like you're trying to be an asshole again.
You'll know when I'm being an asshole.
Or that maybe you want a new one.
Kaiser is dead staring at Darman and goes, "You would never be able to get close enough."
But it is 10 right now.
Shiba.
Yes, it is time, and I think this is as good a place as any to stop. Thank you for joining us for Lairs and Legends, and I hope to see you next time.
Hey everybody, thank you for making it this far at the very least. Just want to say, hey, if you want to support my channel, it would be awesome if you liked, subscribed, commented, all that fun stuff. If you want to add a little bit of extra support on there, go to my Ko-fi channel. The link will be in the description. Right now, I don't know if the link is actually clickable or not, but I'll have the actual URL you need to go to that you can just copy and paste into the browser. But yeah, you can go to my Ko-fi page, hire me as a game master, even just like subscribe, get some little extra fun stuffs. Or I mean, you can check out my other store and see if anything there intrigues you. Just there for a little bit of extra support. I'm trying to make sure that I can keep myself self-sufficient on this stuff, and every little bit helps. Thank you very much for watching this, and I hope to see you in the next video.